Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast from Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we call the daily Bible reading our spiritual manna. It nourishes our souls, fostering spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. Today is Monday, May 19th, 2025, and we are in the fifth week of Easter. I recently received a text from a friend ending with the letters BFF. I texted back to ask what BFF means. They responded that BFF means best friends forever. The lectionary reading for today is a BFF, Best Friends Forever story. It is a story between the eldest son of the first king of Israel and the youngest son of a commoner, the new king in waiting. This BFF story is in the Old Testament book of 1 Samuel, chapter 20. Jonathan, the eldest son of the reigning monarch King Saul, was impressed by a young shepherd boy named David, whose father had sent him to the battlefield to check on his older brothers. What David heard and saw that day was the Philistines' army taunting the Israelite army, displaying their giant warrior named Goliath. David could not believe how afraid the Israelite warriors were. He told King Saul that he would get rid of Goliath by using one of the 5 stones he had in a shepherd's sling. His brothers told him to go home and take care of the sheep. And King Saul told him, "You are just a boy." And he was. But having no other choice, King Saul allowed David to go ahead and try. The giant Goliath laughed at this young boy coming toward him. But when the first stone went out of the sling, it hit the giant squarely in the temple, and the giant Goliath went tumbling down. The Israelite army was victorious that day, defeating the Philistine army. Now, if you attended Sunday school or vacation Bible school, you sang the David and Goliath song. Do you know why David had 5 stones in his bag? Goliath had 4 other giant brothers, and David was ready to take them out. You can check out the David and Goliath song on YouTube. King Saul honored David, who then became his personal aide. But David soon discovered that King Saul was emotionally unstable. Before long, King Saul became paranoid, believing that David had been appointed the next king of Israel by God to replace him. He made numerous attempts to assassinate David. Jonathan, King Saul's eldest son, was already an established army fighter, and although older, he admired the young David. They soon developed a deep friendship. David confided in Jonathan that his father, King Saul, was attempting to kill him. At first, Jonathan wouldn't believe it and extracted a commitment from his father that it was not so. David kept hiding from King Saul, and finally he couldn't take it anymore. He had a meeting with Jonathan, wondering why his father, the king, was hunting him down. The two men made a covenant agreement in the presence of the Lord to be BFF, best friends forever. Jonathan, who believed that the Lord had appointed David as the next king and not him, was pleased. And he extracted a promise from David that when he, David, came to the throne, he would be kind to Jonathan's descendants. The two men then planned to see King Saul's true heart. David missed the monthly dinner party with the king on the first night. And then on the second night, the king wanted to know where David was. Jonathan told his father that David had to attend his own family gathering and would not join them. Saul became enraged, cursing Jonathan and his mother out, and then he threw his javelin at Jonathan, trying to kill him. Jonathan had no choice but to agree with David. He saw for himself that his father wanted to assassinate David. Jonathan left the dinner table and went outside, sending a coded message to David. The two met for the last time. They kissed each other, and then they wept together. But David wept the most. Jonathan and David parted ways. Their relationship was not romantic, but a committed BFF, best friends forever story.